Hello everybody, back here again for another vlog a day, and today was Saturday the 18th? I think it's 18th, pretty sure. I know it's Saturday. Today was a lovely day to be alive. Got a bunch of stuff accomplished, and then also felt like we got nothing done at all. Got this morning a little earlier than I want to. Dealt with the puppies, got them all out. We have the little tiny Yorkie with us, and then we got this giant clumsy doodle that we have. We have a little pit bull who doesn't, I think she wants to play with the Yorkie, but she looks like she wants to play a little bit rough, and I can't risk that because the Yorkie thinks that she is like a giant tough dog, and I can't take the chance of the little pit just like doing something stupid and playing a little too rough and stepping on her or nipping a little too hard kind of thing. So those two are kept separate. The pit bull gets along with everybody else great and everything. The little squeaky toy sized dog makes me nervous because it doesn't take much for that to get stepped on and get hurt. So we were keeping them separate. Got them all outside, got them all in the bathroom, got them all fed, all the fun stuff that comes with that. Got a couple other things taken care of. I actually hung out here in the morning. I was pretty early, so letting my wife sleep in a little more. I just hung outside, grabbed myself a cigar, and chilled out in the morning before it got hot. Just tried to just start the day nice and mellow and slow, which is always a great way to start the day. Watched a little bit of Hulu out here on the iPad and chilled out in the whole process. So from there, my wife got up, she was getting around, everything was good. We decided we were going to go up to the father-in-law's house to go through some stuff, figure out what all we had up in the attic and some stuff in the garage he had stored, trying to figure out what is personal belonging memories that Karen needs to keep and what we can get rid of, which he's like, just get rid of it all, just leave it all in the house, leave it all in the attic, nothing. And it was like everything from like her childhood, like all of her choir stuff, and when she was singing and it wasn't stored very well. It was covered in, cockroach shit and mouse piss, and it was just not real fun times for her. It was really stressful, dealing with the fact that how little her father cared about the memories, and whatnot, and didn't put them in plastic bags or protect them or leave them in the closet in the house because he had to have room for records. So that was stressful. That was a hard day. We spent a few hours up there and we took the doodle and the little one with us and stuff, went up there and basically, chilled out with them. As what we were doing is I basically set up a couple of folding tables in the garage, and I handed her a box and she started going through it. We had basically a box of stuff she wanted to keep, a box of stuff that basically was just straight garbage we were throwing straight in the trash can, and then also we had the stuff that was basically able to possibly have some value, like some knickknacks and little figurines and crap like that would normally been in the house that they've collected over their lifetime, and some stuff even from like the grandparents and whatnot that were passed down to him that we're going to possibly have a yard sale or an estate sale and try and unload that stuff at one point so we can get the house sold. But then we had the just going through, and after she got her boxes, she was going through stuff. I grabbed a box and I would just pull things out. I'd set 5 or 6 items on the table, and I'd say, keep, throw away, or sale, and she'd be like, keep this item, the rest can go to sale. I'd re-grab it back up, put it in the next box, and I'd haul it in the house, and we have a pile of it in the family room. I guess I don't know. There's like a living room and a family room both, so I'm not really sure. There's like, it's whatever, the back family room. So we're just making a big pile of stuff there, so we'll know that stuff's already been gone through. And we made a really pretty good dent. We went through almost everything that was in the attic, and we cleared off about a half a shelf in the garage, which doesn't sound like that much, but there was quite a bit of stuff in the attic that I hauled down the other day, last week I think it was, up there, and got that all down and made great progress. We have a box of like Christmas lights and stuff that are virtually brand new, really pretty lights that she wants to bring home and whatnot, and the rest of it we have just basically things we're going to sell so we can hopefully get money to pay for his assisted living and keep him I guess alive and out of a state funded place that will not be fun and not as good a place and good as situation. So I got down with all that. We kind of wrapped our time. We kind of set a goal of how long we wanted to be up there, and we ended up running about half an hour longer than we planned on being up there. Everything went fairly well, I'd say. There was a lot of emotion, like I said, just kind of hit her hard. There's a few things that was that whole concept of just that sadness of like there's nowhere to put it, like it's not where we're going to keep it and stuff. So it's like, just get rid of it, see if anybody else, once we get the stuff set up, we'll bring in the like her aunt and stuff and let her go through everything that she needs, anything she wants to keep for memory. She's kind of got that disease that a lot of families have where they just want to hoard shit. They want to hold on everything. They have this like weird emotional attachment to stuff, which I luckily do not have. And a lot of the stuff is just things you can tell that people bought, to cheer themselves up. They'd buy a little item, or every time they went somewhere, they had to bring home something from it. So, and thank God that of all the things I look back in my childhood, I had a pretty screwed up life and growing up and starting out. And that was one thing I never had. Maybe it's because we were just too shit poor to ever have that like retail therapy world. We never went out shopping to cheer ourselves up. That was never a thing. And I've even kind of think about, like, you hear people talking about going out shopping and stuff, and I was like, I don't remember last time I went into a store without an item in mind that I needed. Like, aside from groceries, you go in there, just kind of like, what am I hungry for? I'll look for some stuff. I might find a thing here and there, but I don't recall ever just like walking in. I don't remember the last time I walked into like a Bass Pro Shop or a, even like a Harbor Freight or something without a Walmart or anything. I didn't walk in there just like, I'm going to look around and find myself something to buy. And like, we'll go through like at St. Augustine, we'll go through jewelry stores, we'll go through, craft stores and different things, and all the memorabilia and all that kind of junk's at, and we love looking at them. But I always look going, I don't want to dust this, I don't want to clean it. And there was a ton of that crap that he just put away so he had more shelf space to buy more model cars, like the little die-cast car things he'd buy at flea markets and junk, and covered his house in model cars. So everything else got stuffed in the attic, and it's just, so we're going through all the things and basically trying to figure out what we can sell and hopefully get him a little bit of money so we can then continue on and support, basically pay for his stuff and where he's at. So that was a good chunk of the morning. We got packed up, we headed back home with the dogs and stuff, got back here. On the way back, we stopped in and basically fed a couple cats. I had to stop in and feed the cats that are over in New Smyrna. Stopped in there and stuff, and the woman, the condo, I guess, or townhouse maybe, it's like a 2-story, basically bolted together. It's like all of them as you go down the row. And so she had some gorgeous tile. I love her tile in that house, and I'd actually have the catalog number off the box in the garage of what the tile she had, and I kind of think I might want to try and find it and put it in my house because it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like a bluey gray kind of oceany type look, and it kind of reminds me of those little things, those like little picture frames that are full of like oil and sands and different colors, and you split them up and they make different pictures. They kind of float back down like little hourglass type looking things. It reminds me of that. It's a very gorgeous tile. So I had Karen coming, she hadn't actually seen it in person yet, and let her look at it, and she's like, oh my god, this stuff is gorgeous, I love that tile. So, and they're great big, they're like 3 foot long by like, I don't know, maybe 10 inches wide. They're a beautiful long, beautiful tile, and super shiny, they're gorgeous pieces. So we hung out with the cats a little bit. They were doing a bunch of construction, actually replacing her shingles and stuff on her unit. So the cats are still freaked out. They're not spending a lot of time hanging out and chilling with me and playing with me and stuff, kind of things. They're just kind of hanging out. I only saw the one cat each time I was there because the other cat didn't come down. The cat's like, I'm hiding. I have nothing to do with nobody. So hung out there a little bit. Got back home, kind of chilled out. We were kind of just taking a little bit of break. And it was that weird midday. I'm like, it's not really kind of our evening yet, but we're in that whole thing. It was, I don't know, 3 o'clock or so, somewhere in there at that point. And I'm like, hey, what are we doing? What's going on? Maybe I don't even think it was that late. It might have been, I don't know what time it was. I said, well, I'm going to go outside. It's a little warm, but there's a lot of shade and stuff. Taking the dogs out, left little Yorkie inside. So I let the Pit out and the Doodle and Bruce, and they all got to just play and roughhouse and had a good time. And I was out here chilling out, and I was watching a little bit of iPad, lit up with another cigar for the day. And I thought, I'm going to take a little break, and then we'll go on with our day. And I hear the Yorkie scratching the door, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't want the Yorkie out here at the pit. And I see her stuff, and I look up, and Karen's there, so I basically head in real quick, and I'm like, what? She goes, Barbara, which is her aunt, has been in a wreck. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I basically immediately, like, send her stuff. I'm like, what do you want to do? I said, am I going? Are you going? Who needs to go? What we do? Because her husband's in a wheelchair. He's at home by himself. She was in a crash, like a mile from the house, but it's just still, she's in a crash, and he's there by himself because she went out to go get food, and it was a whole thing. So we had a little talk and stuff, and we're like, hey, what's going on? She decided she didn't want to go to the hospital. Her airbags went off, and she was winded and, kind of thing, scared, and everything else going on. Car pulled out in front of her. She hit it or hit it dead on, like T-boned it, flipped the Jeep up onto its roof. Her car's all smashed in the front. And I said, well, are we going or not? She goes, no, I don't need to go. I said, okay. I said, if we need to go, I said, I will go. Like right now, if we need to go sit with Wes or whatever, whatever needs to happen, or if you want to go and whatnot. And like I said, Wes is in a wheelchair. He's got a stroke on one side. So he has no movement on his left side of his body. So he needs help getting in and out of the recliner into the wheelchair and stuff to help do things. And I'm like, it's easier for me to move him around than it is you. And we talked about it, and she goes, nope, I think we're good right now. She's refusing that. So I basically did some checking. I checked on Facebook. Somebody's local over there could just basically take her home. And I didn't get any takers. It was ridiculous. One of them was like, if I was in town, I would, but she was out of town. Everybody else is like, nope, can't help. And I'm like, oh, we can order an Uber, but nobody has Uber on their phones because we don't use Uber. We all have cars. We don't use Ubers. We don't drink. We don't get drunk. So we don't need Ubers. So we got to get the Uber app set up so we can send an Uber on something like this. But couple hours went by and we still weren't hearing nothing. Apparently the cops will not count write reports in there. They have to have highway patrol do it, and it was like 2 hours later. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Cigar's done and stuff. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go for a run. I want to get that done and stuff. We're just waiting to find what happens with her. She's still sitting in the car. It's raining over there, and it's just a pain in the butt. Get out of the shower, and Karen's like, I got home from my run. She goes, I think we need to go there. You need to go over and check on her, maybe bring her home. The cops won't take her home, nothing, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I jumped in the shower real quick, grabbed myself a drink, and basically headed out over there. And it's just torrential downpours at times. Like, it's just, oh my God, it's raining so hard. And I took the truck in case for some reason I needed to stay over there. If something happened, she had to go to the hospital. I wanted, if Karen wanted to come back, or I wanted her to have her own car. I didn't want to drive my truck because the truck's a little weird, especially get downtown Orlando area. You get in the traffic. She's not really used to truck, and she doesn't like driving at night, which she then told me today. Also, sure, with the eyesight's getting a little weird. She's not like driving at night, and my truck don't have nearly as good of headlights as her car does, or as good of wipers or anything. So I want her to have the car. So went ahead and I headed over, got there, and the highway patrol was there filling out the paperwork on her. And basically told her to go sit in the truck and whatnot. So she sat down like in the back seat, like on the floorboard with the doors open, and sat there and stuff a little bit. I went to talk to the officer, and he said, I'm just about done. He goes, 5 more minutes, I'll have all our paper done. She can go home. So once we got her out of the car, the tow truck then got her car up onto the tow truck and was hauling it off. The highway patrol came over, gave her the paperwork and stuff, said, here's the person's information, here's the tow information, all that kind of stuff. And then we basically helped get her up into the truck, got her in the truck, got her home, got her into the house, everything. And she was just shook kind of thing and stuff, checking on her husband stuff. I got there, he was fine, everything was good. And because it was so close to when she was getting free, I didn't go to the house first. I went straight to her first, got her and got home, and offered to go get her food, went and picked her up some food next. That's where she was on her way 3.5, 4 hours ago to go get was food. So I got her some food, came back, did a couple of things, turned off like the pool pumps and just the general stuff that she would normally done in the evening. And we kind of hung out there a little while and made sure everything was good, got her, made sure she was calmed down, made sure she was feeling good. And I could explain to her, I said, if you need to go to the hospital, you need to go to the hospital, and one of us will come over. Karen or I will come over and stay with Wes if that's what needs to happen. Or, because you're the only one taking care of him, if you have to go to the hospital, they will take him in the ambulance as well. Since you don't have a car, you can't drive yourself now since our car is smashed up. So we dealt with that, and that was ridiculous. I finally left there, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. It's like super late. No, it was 9 o'clock or so. I think when I headed out of there, and Karen something about making dinner, and she's making spaghetti sauce, whatever. Hadn't made the noodles up yet, and I'm like, I do not feel like eating spaghetti at 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm not want to do that, so I'm like, the hell with it. And I tried to sync my phone up to download more podcasts before I left. It was taking forever, so I just gave up and said, screw it, I gotta go. So I left to go over there with her. So I'm running an old iPod, or the old phone with the old podcasts and stuff on it. I still had a couple new ones I hadn't heard yet, so it wasn't a big deal. But I got back home, talked to Karen for a little bit and stuff, kind of filled her in what was going on and whatnot. Called, checked on the aunt. The aunt's doing good. She's going to bed. Everything's fine. And then I went in to let my phone sync, and it was like an hour and a half went by. It was on, like, so super late. Went in and looked, Karen's falling asleep at this point. So I turned the light off for her, and I basically hung out there waiting for my phone to finish. It got finished up, finally went to bed and wrapped the day up. And it was became a really long, tedious day. And like I said, we got stuff accomplished in the morning up at her dad's house and that, but then spent the whole evening dealing with her wreck and taking care of her and her husband and stuff, which is what you do. It's family. You got to do what you got to do to help people out. So got that all taken care of, and that's pretty much how my day got wrapped up. And the part that sucked the most was just the drive in the rain, and I-4 traffic is just horrendous, man. There's so many idiots and stuff. That's just so crazy. So, but I got it all done, got it all taken care of, and finally got back home and I was able to just be with my wife, which is what I wanted to be doing anyway. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.